Hello friends, welcome back to a new episode of the cheesiest man alive, and the cheesiest man alive is your boy Harstem, coming right at you with some new old builds. Today we're going to be proxy raxing against Zhuge the second best Finnish Zerg player, just behind Cyril. Zhuge is at 5.5k MMR, Cyril is a little bit higher than that, he's about 7.1 or something. So there is a significant difference in MMR between the two, but only a single place in the Finnish rankings, and that's really the only thing that matters in life, is how high up you are in the Finnish rankings. Okay, we're gonna 2-Rex Marine. I haven't done this build in a very long time. The main reason why I don't play a whole lot of 2-Rex Proxy Marine is because you actually need a follow-up with it. Whenever I play 3-Rex or 4-Rex, usually you just win or lose with the initial push, and it feels quite nice, to be honest. You don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. You're not forced into building a natural CC either. With this build, you have the opportunity to straight up win, but most of the time the game kind of lingers on. Even if you theoretically have won already, you kind of have to play it out still, and I'm personally not a huge fan of that. We're gonna try it this time though. So we have our first barracks finishing up here. We're starting on an orbital command as well. We have the gas mining out here, and I just want to wait until I have, I think 2 Marines is a decent number. And then we're gonna just go in for a scout here with my worker. This is of course not a real scout. Well, it is a real scout. I mean, I'm scouting something. But, ooh, okay. This was a 15 hatch. That's interesting. In that case, I want to build here instantly. I think that's important. I could build a second bunker out here as well. So we're gonna do that. Just a little bit further forward. And his queen is going to finish quite quickly. This is something you always need to keep in mind when you're playing against a 15 hatch opener. So the queen pops out at, I believe it is 226. So that's a solid 10 seconds faster than you'd usually see. Because usually the queen comes out at 236. Okay, you have this thing out. Yeah, he's struggling with this. Just loses 2 workers absolutely for free. Gonna put, no, not in the bunker yet. No reason to put them in the bunker if all that's happening is that I'm being attacked a little bit. Now I can maybe start putting this in the bunker here. I want him to do at least a little bit of damage onto it. I can of course always repair this as well. I think he's in some serious trouble here, to be honest. He can't attack my SCVs, which means I... Oh, actually can kill his... What? He really messed that up, didn't he? I can attack his spine crawler. That's absolutely not correct. That is absolutely not correct. It's important for me that I try and kill these spine crawlers. Let's see what he's planning on attacking right now. He should be going for the SCVs, obviously. He really should be going for the SCVs. I mean, I'm just going to have infinite healing here as long as he doesn't attack my SCVs. This doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to get a reactor out here too. I think I can at least get this hatchery. I mean, that should be the least that I can do. Okay, maybe not. Not the greatest micro on my Marines. Okay, I lost both of my SCVs at this point. We're going to sell this bunker as well. We still have the bunker in the back, and I can actually get a natural. So I think because he really wanted to defend his natural, he's now going to be in a really crappy spot. So we're going to build a CC here. He forgets the GG, Zhuge Liang. He was a player that I always thought in my mind would GG, but I guess not. Being just below Cyril, you know. You pay a mental price for that as well. Always the second in line. All right, I'll type the GG out. He didn't. We'll head into our next game. Alright, we've got another Zerg over here. This time I want to do something just a little bit different. And there is this build that I used to play against with my Zerg. Honestly, this is how I find most of my cheeses, is when I'm off racing and lower level players do something interesting. I'm like, oh, that is interesting. As it's maybe like a one-time thing, and sometimes there's strategies that actually feel very valid, but the execution just isn't there. I think that's one of the things that people underestimate maybe a little bit in StarCraft 2, is I think sometimes in like Grandmaster, low Grandmaster, you have these players that have a strategy or an idea that hasn't been completely worked out yet, that hasn't been completely made efficient. And as a result, it doesn't perform very well. Maybe the mechanics backing it up aren't good enough, or maybe, like I said, it's just not efficient. The idea itself is quite good, it just hasn't been worked out fully. And that's what I always felt with this build when I played against it. I played against this dude, I don't actually remember his name, he's a Terran player, and he would always mech all in me. With Cyclone, Hellion, off of 2 base, he'd build like a fake third behind it. He'd have a bunch of these units, and he'd just go across the map, and he'd kill me. And I would lose to it frequently. Sometimes I would manage to hold. But a lot of the time I would just straight up die. And no one else is and was really doing it. And to me, it always felt like it hit like a freaking truck. Oh, I built this a little bit too early, by the way. That's bad. So what I was thinking of is I will do the same build that he did, except I have a couple of, you know, I don't want to call them improvements because I'm not sure if they're necessarily improvements, but just some, you know, they do things a little bit different. It's going to be a really committed 2-base all-in, where I open up with obviously a bunch of Hellions. I'm gonna open up with a bunch of Hellions, and then I'm gonna follow that up with 2 factories, and then after that a Ghost Academy. So we're basically doing a 2-base kind of Ghost Mech cheese. And I'm not sure yet if the goal is to EMP the queens or to snipe roaches or whatever unit he's building. I'm assuming it's going to be roaches. But the goal here is really... Zergs, I think, are too confident in Terrans building a 3rd base. It's because most Terrans just always build a 3rd base, whether that is after 2 gases or just of a single gas. Terrans generally just like building 3rd bases. And I think you can kind of abuse that as a Terran sometimes, where he's like, okay, they're on such a hard kind of an autopilot that I think it is valuable to every now and again to just go for a very committed 2-base all-in. And we've seen a lot of 2-base all-ins with Bio. People like Beyond and Cure love doing those. But I feel like, you know, having a mech all-in in there should also be, I'm not sure if viable is the word that I'm looking for, but it should be valuable at least, okay? There should be something to that. He sent a bunch of these links across the map, killed 1 SCV. It's allowed, you know, I'm not gonna flame him for it. I wanted to, but I didn't because I'm an adult. So we're gonna drop the mules here. I assume he's going to try and scout. And one of my goals with this build is really to deny a scout for a little bit. I think it's going to be quite important. So we're gonna drop this thing over here. We have more of these on the way. And our tech lab is done right now. Okay, yeah. I was just looking for this because I knew there was going to be some boys just kind of idling around, you know. We're gonna go for Blue Flame. Actually, we go for Hurricane Engines first. The reason why I want to go for Hurricane Engines first is not because I think I'm gonna use it first. Actually, quite the opposite. I think I'm gonna be using the Hurricane Engines last because I'm not gonna be building any extra. But I don't want to kind of show my hand before I have to. And Blue Flame this early would definitely show my hand a little bit too quickly. So he's still very keen here on scouting. I appreciate that here out of will. Okay, we're gonna hit this one too. Up. And as you can see, I don't actually right now need a second gas that badly, which I think is or a third gas that badly. I'm gonna need it eventually, but not quite yet. Just gonna fill up this wall. Okay, he has a lot of queens out here. This did not quite go how I wanted it to. That was a frustrating fight there for me. We're gonna start our first Cyclone as well at this point. Is he moving out with the Overlord, or what's going on over here? I don't quite see it. Okay, we're just gonna want to build a bunch of Cyclones at this point. Okay. Gonna get a couple of hits in. He's not dealing enough damage against me. He's absolutely not dealing enough damage against me. So then you can fight a little bit. This is always how you want to see it. When you're with Hellions, if there's only one queen shooting at you, it's like, okay, I actually do, you know? I don't mind fighting against that in that case. We're just gonna get a refinery over here. We're gonna get another depot too. Ooh, look at that. He's trying to go for a surround. This is interesting, because I think this could potentially give him a false sense of security if he ends up getting it, you know? He's probably waiting on top of the ramp, which would, I think, be quite bad for him. Because I'm not planning on going there. Oh, he's planning on going to me. Now, this is a nice side effect for me, is where... Because I am so heavy on my stuff, my production, it seems difficult for me to die. And as I say that, I realize... This is not the hottest defense I've done in my life. But then again, he should be fairly all in with this, I feel like, right? Okay, these two are gonna end up dying most likely. I wonder if I'm actually ahead at this point. I don't know what his worker count is going to be exactly off of this, but it feels like it's going to be quite low. This hit at like 5 minutes and 20 seconds in or so. Okay, he's gonna try to hit my main base as well. The full wall really helped me out. Oh, he's gonna try to keep going, eh? I didn't actually research my my thing yet. My Blue Flame Hellion, I just realized. I think we might be in a little bit of trouble as a result. Well, I'm not sure as a result of that, but we are definitely in a little bit of trouble, eh? Most definitely in a little bit of trouble. Oh, we don't want this guy to die. He's just gonna keep going for at least a little longer. We're adding more and more... Oh crap, I just dropped some mules right into his face, eh? Not ideal either. I wonder if he's actually just gonna keep going, or if eventually he's gonna kind of step down and do something else. I don't know. Start spending time with his family, with his queen. This feels relatively bad for me now. I really thought I was gonna get him with this. The problem was is because I guess he hit just before my power spike, and I have the micro of an actual wet teabag. That I'm not sure if it's going to be enough now for me. I don't think he's gonna have another go at it. He dealt quite a bit of damage already. We're just gonna piss off back inside, I think. We have 2 ghosts, but both of them are honestly fairly damaged. Like, I don't feel like these ghosts are gonna be the game changers, you know? We can maybe repair this stuff. I think that would be a good time. Because this thing's full health. I was wondering why it wasn't getting repaired. I mean, I'm pretty sure I just ordered that to be repaired. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, we're mining quite a bit of gas. Gonna get 1 more ghost, so then we go up to 4 ghosts. One of them has 10 HP, one of them has 50 HP. So that's all fun and games. Until it isn't fun and games. Oh, I tried to heal these unbuildable rocks, and that obviously doesn't work. Well, obviously, it just doesn't work. I could have maybe hit with +1 as well, if I hadn't gotten blasted so hard here. Let's just try to move across the map. See what we can do here. He does have vision over here, which frustrates me. I believe he might go for a run by. So I'm just going to hotkey this depot so I can lower it remotely. Oh, Jesus. That's very suboptimal as a fight. I'm not sure why I would do that. Oh my god. I have actual brain. I just lost all of my units. I just move commanded. I forgot that Hellions were this fast. He was just defending with pure Ling as well. It's not like he had some secret hold here. His hold was me hoping that I would walk into him. If I had morphed into Hellbats, I think I just win the game. This went terrible. That was not a good look, my friends. Because Hellbats are so powerful against this type of setup too. That's what makes this so much worse. He was going mass Ling, and that was pretty much the point. That was pretty much the entire point, is that he was going mass Ling so that I could kill him. Okay, well that sucked. Okay, now he's coming with this stuff. He's going again for another push. There's no way. He has +1 carapace as well. This guy is surreal, no? Okay, we're gonna build a 3rd base. This is an obvious fake. I think I can transition out of this. Is there even a need to really transition out of this? What is his plan here? Jesus Christ. This guy has infinite workers. Like legit infinite workers. This isn't even remotely close. It's like +1 upgrade. Oh my god, he owned me. He's 180 supply. I guess he dealt way more damage of a higher drone count than I thought he did. He killed 23 here already. This was the first attack. Hit like 520 of 35 workers. Pretty committed. I guess the problem was that all like these Hellions, they were so far out of position for such a long time. They really didn't help in the fight. Then here I just lose a lot of workers and I end up losing these guys as well. Yeah, 18 workers is a bit too much. And he gets the full info as to what I'm doing. So you can throw down a rotor, and he did this with characters. Is that a wild build by him? Let's get the win. I want to try this again. Because it felt good until I lost. But before that, it felt pretty good. So yeah, we'll have another go at it. Alright, we've got the same opponent again. And as I'm usually against repeating build against the same person, I'm not going to be doing it. Instead, what should we do on this map? It's Crimson Court. We could have proxied, but it's a little bit late for that. Maybe just go for like a double Battlecruiser opener. There actually used to be a build that I want to say Innovation did once. And I want to say it was against Raynor, where he opened up with CC first into fast double starport Battlecruiser. And I always kind of had a fetish for that build ever since then. It's like, ooh, I even think that innovation actually, rather than going into anything weird like mech, he went double port BC into bio afterwards. And I recall it was on Golden Wall. Raynor ended up going for like 16 or 17 queens because he was expecting like 4 battlecruisers. And then he just got killed by the bio push following up. I think that was very cool, but it's not as cool as what we're going to do. We're just going to be playing double port battlecruiser, and we're actually going to stick with it. So we're going to just mess PCs off of, I guess, 2 bases or so, but really focused on killing our opponent. Like, the goal here is not to, you know, kill a couple of drones. We're really trying to kill our opponent. We're going to go in with our first 2 BCs, and then with BC 3 and 4, we're going to pull like 10, 12 workers across the map. With our Hellbats as well, and then we just go and kill our opponent, or at least that's going to be the general plan. I'm going to need a fast third gas. I can't remember the build, but I remember there being fast gases everywhere. I remember being like, oh, that's fast for gas. I just have this... Sometimes there's games with StarCraft 2 that just never leave your, you know, your mind for whatever reason. They're just kind of sitting there waiting for you to play it once more. We'll open up with a Reaper, I guess. Marine, why not? Went great last time, lol. Get a factory out here too. Maybe I'm mining a little bit too gas too early on though. Let's see if we can lower that amount just a tiny tad, and then pull back into gas in a tiny second. We don't need a crap ton early on, but we need a crap ton at like the in-between point. I guess we could start saving up already. It's not the end of the world. Let's just rally in. You know what? Let's just rally in. I think he's going to send his links across the map once more to try and deal with my crap. See if we can kill this thing. I think he will be capable of killing it if I'm there. So we're just going to be down here. Going to have this bad boy up here too. I mean, he can't do anything down here. This is absolutely not viable. We're just building a lot of these things. And I want my extra gas right now as well. And we're building our first Hellions. I wonder if I can hold him if he opens with the exact same thing here. How many cars should I get? I don't even know. This one's going to be building a fusion core, which is probably somewhat important. Going to need a depot as well here. Just gonna build it behind because I'm afraid of building it in front. Just generally afraid of anything that can happen in the next 20 seconds or so. Okay, we're just gonna get more gas as well. And I actually want to maybe build a Cyclone to trick him into believing that it's going to be a similar thing to last game. Now we're gonna build a wall a little bit further forward. We're gonna need to start collecting a crap ton of gas over the next 20 seconds, and we probably will be capable of doing that. Like, we actually have insanely good gas income. We're going to cut all... Actually, maybe I should even cut... I probably should have cut that heli in there, to be honest. I probably should have cut it. I didn't, but I probably should have. Okay, this thing is now finished. We have enough cash soon for our first battlecruiser. I'm just going to cancel the Cyclone. I don't care enough about it. We're going to try to continue building workers all the way throughout. We even have slightly too much gas, not enough minerals. That's hilarious. Okay, our first 2 BCs are now on the way officially. If he does the exact same build as last game, I think I'm in trouble. I want a wall, just in case he is doing something similar to that game. Then, you know, I'm at least going to be semi-ready for him. I have my boys here. I really wonder if he's gonna do the same thing, or... He must think I'm an absolute idiot. I'm just standing behind my wall like a loser, not doing anything. Can I afford a second factory at this point? I don't think so. I'm going to start adding in a couple more Hellions, and then eventually I'm going to really start pumping down on the Cyclones, because I believe a common response is going to be to have some... I'm not sure if he can get Corruptors, but I guess that's what he would want to do, right? Corruptors against Battlecruiser number 2 and 3. That's going to be his general goal, in my mind at least. So I want to start both of the next PCs, and then once we have those 2 started, not finished, but started, that's when I'm gonna start pumping my next set of boys. My next set of Cyclones. Okay, he's not ready at all here for me. B. GG. What was he planning on doing? Oh, he had a Roach War and this guy was pumping it. He had the Ridge Vespine geyser. Sometimes it's as simple as that, you know? Sometimes it's as simple as that. And you just fly your first 2 BCs across, or you blink them in. He had what? He had 6 queens. He had no way of defending this, no spire. He was gonna build some roaches. Just wasn't gonna be enough. Okay, nice. That's a very easy and quick win against the same guy that just absolutely destroyed me. I'm just gonna wait with searching for a bit, because I want to try this again, but preferably not against the same player. All right, now we've got ourselves a Protoss opponent. I actually looked for the Innovation versus Raynor game. It wasn't quite as epic as I thought it was. I'm gonna lie. It was on Golden Wall and it was to Battlecruiser into Bio, but it was a fairly mediocre game. I did in my search find a game of Uthermal playing a double Battlecruiser starport and just massing BCs against Raynor, also on Golden Wall. Apparently everyone and their mom played the double BC on Golden Wall back in the day. I legit can't remember this at all. Just must have accidentally slipped my mind at some point. I thought it was pretty interesting. Either way, we're here playing against TC Ultimate now. Enough of the Zergs. This is a Protoss player. I sent on my second SCV too late, so that means that my Proxy Barracks will be a little bit... Oh, I keep forgetting. He scouts. He's a scouter. He actually is a scouter. I had forgotten about that. Let's see if we can deal with this, though, in a measured manner. Let's see if we can just... Here, look at this. This is what I want to do. See if we can fight him. Ooh. Yes, keep chasing him, buddy. Keep chasing him. That's the important one. The one on the right, he's important. This guy, he's a distraction. Don't listen to him. All right, and with that, we're gonna come to an end of this episode of the cheesiest man alive. I hope you all had as great a time as TC Ultimate had in this last game. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you for more epic videos like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye. Oh my god.